abyss. A deep or seemingly bottomless chasm. A wide or profound difference between people. The regions of hell conceived of as a bottomless pit. A catastrophic situation seen as likely to occur. Abyss. A place that harbors nothing. Nothing which is darkness. Darkness which is, to us, nothing. Are you afraid of the dark? Or are you actually afraid of nothing?
Personally, I'm afraid of Catholics. This video is not about the abyss. It's about organized religion, which is just as scary in many regards. I'd first like to clarify that I'm not whispering for stylistic reasons. It's because this room is really echoey, and a really special guy named Jesus Christ told me that this project is already a week late. So let's talk about church.
I've been attending church every Sunday without fail for as long as I can remember. People have always told me to never trust a Catholic, which must be good advice because I haven't gone to church in a decade and nobody has ever told me to never trust a Catholic. Despite my lack of faith, I have a deep fascination with churches and other holy structures. I actually recently traveled to Ireland solely because I wanted to see the incredible ancient structures of worship that have stood for hundreds of years, the towering stone cathedrals that have heard the prayers of countless generations of saints and sinners alike. I traveled across an ocean to see the miracles my ancestors built, and also to see my friend Sean, who is the only person that will watch Riverdale with me. I may not believe in God, or I may, who the fuck knows, not me, but there is an undeniable power in holy places, something indescribable and completely unknowable, though many seem to have settled on calling it Dad. Framed perfectly in my bedroom window is the steeple of a beautiful church. Most people in Providence have seen this church and have probably felt its strange allure. I'm no different, and have often found myself just looking at it. I've always wanted to go inside, the only thing stopping me being the many obligations in my life as a student, and the fear of being struck by lightning and sent immediately to hell for failing time, light, and sound.
Maybe a week ago, though, I was desperately trying to figure out a way to finish my video essay in 2 days, and I looked out the window.
The church? I immediately knew that it was going to be a love letter to the building that was, in many ways, more like my personal skyline. Then I looked it up on Google Maps. The First Church of Jesus Christ Scientist. Who the fuck is Jesus Christ Scientist?
So as it turns out, this building isn't a normal church at all. It's the Church of Jesus Christ Scientist. So I initially thought that was like Scientology, until I realized that I haven't even seen John Travolta here once. Apparently, adherents to Christian Science believe that, and I'm gonna fully quote 2 paragraphs from Wikipedia, just full disclosure.
Subscribe to a radical form of Christian philosophical idealism, believing that reality is purely spiritual and the material world is an illusion. This includes the view that disease is a mental error rather than a physical disorder, and that the sick should be treated not by medicine, but by a form of prayer that seeks to correct the beliefs responsible for the illusion of ill health. Most controversially, the reliance on prayer and avoidance of medical treatment has been blamed for the deaths of several adherents and their children. Between the 1880s and 1990s, parents were prosecuted for, and in a few cases convicted of, manslaughter or neglect.
So then I knew I had to go check this shit out.
Christ, truth, was demonstrated through Jesus to prove the power of spirit over the flesh to show that truth is made manifest by its effects upon the human mind and body, healing sickness and destroying sin. Ignorant of our God-given rights, we submit to unjust decrees, and the bias of education enforces this slavery. Be no more willing to suffer the illusion that you are sick or that some disease is developing in the system than you are to yield to a sinful temptation on the ground that sin has its necessities.
To be completely honest, I was kind of disappointed by the service. Like, Christian Science, with the little that I know about it, is so, like, radical and, like, batshit insane that you would think this service is just completely fucking, mind-numbing, like, crazy psychosis shit, but it was so fucking regular. It was such a normal service, and I was not convinced. I don't know how anybody was convinced. It's hard to imagine, like, that being the ideology, like, the thing that radicalizes you into being, like, against modern medicine and potentially, like, letting yourself or your own child fucking die. For that, like, it was so boring and bland. Everybody there was super nice to me. There weren't a lot of people. There was like 8 people at the service, maybe. The extent of my knowledge on this before doing this was literally a fucking Family Guy episode. I don't know. Did I learn anything from this?